New data reports that the unemployment rate for IT workers is now up over 5.7%. This is all the tech workers. And if you're in tech or know someone who's in tech, I'm going to give you the three things I would do as a 20-year career coaching veteran right now in order to make sure that you don't end up unemployed long term. So first, it's going to take me more than 30 seconds to explain this. So if you don't have the time, bookmark it and come back. Let's first address the differences between the dot-com bust of 1990 and today, because I was actually working back then in the staffing industry when that happened. And what I saw was many tech workers losing their jobs and saying, hey, I was making six figures. I'm going to wait until another six-figure job comes along. And in that time that they waited, they poured through their savings, they tapped into their 401ks, and they still ended up with jobs 30 to 40% less than what they were making previously. And so that history lesson should be one that everyone in IT right now should be paying attention to, because what's different about this time around was even when the dot-com bust happened, that was the beginning of just the explosion of the internet. We knew it was going to bounce back. But coinciding with this is AI and the fact that it's replacing millions of jobs, depending on which futurist you talk to, they say it's going to replace around 85 million jobs. And while it will create a lot of jobs in the future, the short-term pain gap of about 3 to 5 years is super acute, and it's hitting tech first. By the way, all the other industries are going to get hit by this too. It's not just tech, but tech folks have to be careful, because a lot of these people that trained or were told, hey, you'll have that software developer job forever, don't. And so the first thing I would do right now is take a job, even if it's at a lower pay rate. It is easier to get a job when you have a job. And every month that passes that you don't get picked up, it's harder to explain. It's sort of like a house that sits on the market. When it's past that like prime time of getting scooped up, people think there's something wrong with the house, and then it's harder to sell. It's no different for IT workers who are flooding the market. There's lots of them to choose from. So don't feel bad about taking a lower paying job. It won't be forever, but it'll give you peace of mind to be able to then make really smart decisions, as opposed to trying to hold out for a higher paying job while you're burning through your cash. Now, the second thing I would do right away is strategize on my pivot. You are going to have to pick a specialty. You are going to have to pick an area of focus as it relates to AI and how you can leverage AI with your IT background. So when I say specialty, I'm looking at not only an industry vertical, but I would also suggest you pick an area of operations within a company. So you would be looking at AI for finance in healthcare. You'd be looking for AI in operations in marketing. There are different things that you can dial in on. So what's the problem or pain point that most needs to be solved, and how can you take your IT experience and leverage AI tools to solve for that? Because that's what companies are going to be looking for going forward. They're restructuring, they're laying off to free cash up to figure out where they should spend their AI dollars. And so tapping into somebody like you who can speak knowledgeably, like, a heart specialist, right? When you're a specialist, those people get more respect and they earn more money. So this is your chance to pivot in that direction and create a specialty for yourself. And then the third thing I would absolutely do right now is create a bucket list of organizations that you aspire to work for. Having a bucket list and back channeling, not networking, back channeling to people that work at the company to talk about the problems you'd like to solve and where they're using AI and how your tech background fits into that is the fastest way for you to get visible. Because a lot of these companies don't even know what they're hiring for. So they don't post jobs because they don't know what to write in the job descriptions. Instead, they're actually waiting for people to come along and talk about the problems they're talking about internally, who actually speak to the answers to the solutions. That's you, my friend. So when you start back channeling in and learning how to ask questions that gets them dialoguing on this subject, you actually now control the conversation. And this is how you can get your foot in the door and, believe it or not, get a job created for you, which is a lot of what's going to happen when it comes to AI. Companies are going to really wait around to see who comes to them and offers ideas and solutions that make sense. And then those are the people that will get hired. And that could be you. So folks, please don't skip on this. Don't think that this isn't an important number. This number is only going to get worse. 5.7 only reflects the unemployment rate. It doesn't factor in the underemployment rate. I would argue if you factored in underemployment, people are working below their grade or working part-time along with the unemployed, in tech, it's way over 8%. And so you can't sit around and think that things are just going to get better and that you're going to get the same kind of job and the same kind of pay. You have to have a strong strategy. And these would be the three things, if you were working with me as a career coach, that we would work on together to expedite it. Hey, if this made sense and you'd like more help, I can't work with everybody. So, what I did instead is put together a free resource center, no credit card required. It is filled with thousands of dollars of top resources. These are the resources that my clients last year told me were the most helpful to them in getting a job. And I am making these resources free because there's just so many people out there in need of them. So, check out the link in my bio or down below. Hop into the free resource center, watch the job search bootcamp. Definitely use the Unlock Your UVA tool. That will help you as well, because I don't want you to find months and months passing and still not having a job when there's this much competition going on. Good luck. Go get them.